How are all of you beautiful, sexy, attractive people who are definitely subscribed to me doing? Anyway, in the most recent Warframe dev stream, they've released a ton of information about the October 15th update, and it's honestly a pretty huge update, especially because we're getting the old piece here soon. So it's like kind of crazy we're getting such a major update for right before another major update that's going to be huge for the story. And I've talked about a lot of the things with the update, but something I haven't talked about yet because there isn't a ton of information that was really given to us is Teshin's new quest, which is the teacher. And the reason I'm making this video is because in like the minute, 2 minutes they talk about the quest, there are like 50 different things that confuse me. Alright, okay, that's a lie. There's not 50 different things. There's like 2 things that confuse me, but they were both very confusing. First off, let's say what we know about the quest. It's releasing on October 15th, and it's a cinematic quest that's featuring Teshin. It's called The Teacher. It's an intro quest that is all about teaching players how to properly mod. Teshin seems to be facing off against Corpus soldiers in the intro. The quest will take place directly after Voice Prize and will serve as an official first intro to Teshin when it comes to the story. So obviously we all know who Teshin is, but this is going to be canonically the first time we actually get to meet Teshin. But now I want to start asking about the questions here. As you can see, we know almost nothing because I covered everything we know in the first 30 seconds of talking about it. But first off, the first confusing thing to me is Teshin seems to be facing off against Corpus soldiers on Earth, which is strange because the Grineer run Earth. Now, obviously, the Corpus have attacked Earth before. They tried to take Earth before in like invasions and stuff like that. But let's be honest here. Earth is one of the most hardcore, hard-controlled Grineer colony planets. The Grineer run the fuck out of Earth. So it's very surprising to me that we're seeing Teshin seemingly go up against Corpus soldiers in the intro. Why are the Corpus there? That's so weird to me. And why are they after Teshin? Are they even after Teshin? Are Teshin and the Corpus soldiers after the same thing? Where are the Grineer at? Because surely they can't be happy about the Corpus invading their territory. But at the same time, in the intro, we see the Corpus jump down on Grineer tile set, a Grineer-based tile set, so the Corpus are actually jumping directly onto a Grineer base. So where are the Grineer at, and why are the Corpus and Teshin like facing off on Earth? That's already incredibly confusing to me and doesn't make sense. And that brings me into the next thing I want to talk about, which doesn't make sense to me. Okay, I don't have any theories, guys. I have no clue why the Corpus are there. If you thought I was going to theorize, I'm just bringing it up because I'm confused. I'm hoping you wonderful, sexy people that are watching this video could help me deduct what is going on here. And the next thing that's very interesting is the dev team says this.
That would be very cool.
Yeah. And then
Love to see more Teshin like that in his younger years.
Teshin before
young Teshin.
Yes, that's right. We're just gonna quickly go through. I'm gonna just.
They say that we will get to see a young Teshin, which is very strange because Teshin, even at the start of the game, even if you know like the Teshin that first meets the Tenno, is still going to be very old. He's still like hundreds of years old, if not older. Teshin is old as hell. So how are we going to see a young Teshin during the teacher mission unless we're seeing I don't know, like from the past maybe? And maybe it's so far in the past that the Corpus haven't taken over Earth yet, and that's why the Grineer haven't taken over Earth yet, and that's why we see the Corpus possibly on Earth facing off against Teshin. But because the quest is called The Teacher, you would think that he would be speaking to our Tenno after they wake up, meaning that it can't possibly be in the past. And do you guys see why I'm so confused now with this quest? Because the DE directly says, the team directly says that we're going to see a young version of Teshin, a version of Teshin that we've never seen before. But how could he possibly be young unless this is like way far in the past? And the Corpus being on Earth does kind of make sense if it's way far in the past, because Grineer wouldn't have taken over Earth yet, or at least wouldn't have full control of Earth yet, so the Corpus could more easily invade and kind of face off with Teshin there. But then it's called The Teacher, and he's supposed to be teaching us how to properly mod, so then it's like kind of a strange thing where it's like it can't be that far in the past if we've woken up, you know, and like the Grineer and Corpus positions in the solar system are already kind of like locked in by the time we wake up. So it's just a really strange scenario to me, and it's leaving me a little bit confused when it comes to this quest. But I guess it's possible here, now we're getting to theories, that the quest actually does go into the past a little bit. And it's like, you know, what's it called? When you remember something from the past, and it shows it in a movie. Oh my god, flashbacks. Thank you. So, I'm so sorry. Thank you, random person that yelled that. But flashbacks, maybe we go through the quest and it has a bunch of flashbacks. I'm kind of theorizing that we might actually play as Teshin a little bit in this quest, by the way. And then he like kind of shows us flashbacks and like lets us go into his memory maybe, because there because with the old war we do have some weird memory connection thing going on with the Lotus. So maybe we use that same memory thing with Teshin to teach us how to mod. Also, another thing I do want to talk about is I'm not sure how in depth, and this is completely irrelevant to what the theories I was just bringing up, but the dev team also said I'm so sorry, something caught in my throat. But dev team also says here, during the dev stream, sorry, that this quest isn't probably going to help experienced players learn how to mod much. This seems like a quest that is very hardcore, geared for new players. So I don't think it's going to go into crazy depth when it comes to modding. I think it's just going to be a very general overview that will ensure that new players are actually using mods at the very least, and probably tells them like how different elements work with one another, and like what slash does and what explosives do, and like what the different elements do basically is what I'm expecting, and how you should mix them on your weapon. And not necessarily anything deeper than that from my understanding. So that's what I think the quest is going to be, and it's a cinematic quest. It is important to the story. It is story relevant from what I can understand. So even us veteran players have been playing for a very long time will want to play it to stay up to date with the story. And I'm sure we'll learn a lot of new things about Teshin, especially if my theory about it being flashbacks and stuff is correct. But I mean, I'm just going to be completely honest here. We know almost nothing about this quest. I just wanted to make this video because it's very interesting to me that we've seen Corpus on Grineer Earth tile sets, which is something you barely ever see. And I think about it, I don't know if I don't think there are invasion missions with Corpus actually on the planet Earth. It's always like in ships and stuff. I can't think of any time that I've actually played and see Corpus on an Earth tile set. So this is going to be the first time I've ever seen that, which is why I wanted to bring that up. And of course, we're talking about seeing a younger Teshin, but like Teshin at the point after Vor's prize is still old as hell. Like, he's still an old man that's been alive for a very, very long time. So when they say we get to see a young Teshin that we've never seen before, I'm very interested to see what they mean by that, which is why I think there will possibly be flashbacks, and maybe it's a point in time where the Grineer didn't have hardcore control of Earth, and the Corpus were still like trying to get something done there. And like, where are the Corpus and Teshin after? I'm guessing they're after mods. Maybe they're both trying to learn how to mod things properly. But of course, that would be strange because we never actually get to see enemy soldiers ever use mods. So it's like weird they're ever chasing after them when they never use them. I don't know. It's a very strange quest. There's a lot of confusing things going on. But I do think it'll be fun. It'll be a good cinematic intro to Teshin. Hopefully new players will develop a deeper bond with Teshin. Because I don't know about you guys, but like when Teshin died... Oh, by the way, spoiler. Shit. But when Teshin got murked by Era in the new war, I really didn't give a shit. I didn't like Teshin that much. I didn't like care about him as a character that much. But hopefully for new players now, when they're playing the story for the very first time, they get to meet Teshin and you know, actually develop a bond with him. So later in the game means more to them. I'll go ahead and put a spoiler warning before I said that, by the way. So hopefully, you know, no new players see that and get fucked. But that's all I have for this video, guys. I just want to talk about that real quick, because I pretty much talk about everything when it comes to the new update. So I thought I should make a video about this and kind of talk about my confusion when it comes to this quest. But I'm sure it's going to be a good, fun quest. Maybe a little bit repetitive or not needed for the veteran players, but the story and cinematics will still be fun to see and go through. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't yet. I'd really appreciate it. Helps the channel a ton. I love making this Warframe content. And I love talking to you guys in the comments below. Thank you guys so much. But stay blessed. Stay happy. I'll see you all in the next one. And goodbye. And most importantly, stay safe out there.